Live from the Steel Twins recording studio in beautiful Traverse City, Michigan. It's your boys, the Cannonball, the Cannon, the Steel Twins. And welcome everybody to Voice Acting. It's Wednesday night. So happy to see you.
Yes.
Yay.
How's everybody doing today?
Whew. I was holding my breath so long I thought I'd pass out. Let me make sure we got the game audio unmuted there.
Yes, of course.
Yep, of course.
Special thank you to Adam Kraft for subscribing to our YouTube channel not too long ago.
You're the boss. So I'm going to bring a suggestion live here on the book face, the TubeU, and the Twitcher. The suggestion was given to me that as part of a voice acting project, kind of a spin-off, I would try to set up a stream where I'm playing Elder Scrolls Online with various people, and I would lend my various voicing talents to whenever a book was to be read. See what I mean? You know, when you go to Skyrim, or when you read the books and you read the notes and stuff, there's no voice that reads the text in the books. And I'm thinking, why don't we just lend our talents to that? Shoot, we could we could do Skyrim, we could do Elder Scrolls Online, we could do stuff like that, and read the books. But, I mean, it's definitely not like our cup of tea, but, I mean, we're definitely willing to put whiskey in a teacup here, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, okay, well, you go ahead and throw that idea out. I think, will it work? Will it not work? I say it'll work, but...
it'll work for the people that dig that kind of stuff.
Okay.
What do you guys think out in the universe?
Yeah, go ahead.
Why don't you guys say something?
Yeah, feel free to leave a comment or some and all that stuff. And thanks for sharing the post, Mr. Kraft.
Yep, absolutely. So you guys are always the OGs. I definitely appreciate it. Mm-hmm. All right, so I am going to. I've never played Skyrim, but that would be fun. Could you read it in a Richard Simmons style voice? Let's say it, girls. I don't know how that would work, but ladies and gentlemen, Scott Ryan has entered the building,
aka the fabulous Scotty Freetown of the Outside Blitz.
Yes, my friend. And I'm going to tell you straight up. I should be available. Well, we'll talk about when the next episode is going to be recorded. So, hit up that girl's voice real quick.
Let's slay it, girls.
Okay.
There you go. That's a free one. So, okay. I'm going to have the book face open, and I'm going to verify that comments are made here. But I feel like I'm also going to...
Yep, there we go. Touch multi-stream, see what happens.
Touch what?
Multi-stream on the stream chat.
Okay, well, maybe that... I should be able to see comments pop up there.
Yeah.
I should be able to.
Yeah.
Anyway, while we're waiting for that malarkey...
Before we do...
Oh, yes, of course. Most important part of the stream, the beginning part. So, this is our new crack. Diet Dr. Pepper's, Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar, strawberries and cream.
Yum-a-dum-dum.
Dude, I tasted these a while back, and I got to tell you, I'm addicted. So, if you have a drink at home, whether it's a screw cap or a pin, do me a favor, go and pull that pin back. Yo, package. What time is it?
It's time to get bombed.
Cheers to all of you.
Cheers, mate. Strawberries and cream. My favorite.
I'll put it way down here.
Nice. Over there for a minute.
Electronics and
boom goes the Cannonball. Hey, Chris Lampson, thank you so much for joining the stream.
Thanks, man. It's amazeballs, dude. Trust me.
Yeah, it is, Scott. Chris Lampson, thanks for joining us, man. Excelsior!
Yep, Excelsior! I'm super cereal. Oh my God! So
Yeah, I'm going to stream again because you never know who else is going to pop up.
yep, we're probably going to go back and forth on this.
Yeah.
So without any further ado, let's get this show on the road.
Well, before we do that,
I guess we're going to do an update.
Yep.
A system update.
Yeah, hang in there, folks. It'll be.
I am hoping the good golly geez that the synchronization doesn't come off. So let's go back to intermission.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got tripped up.
We certainly did. We certainly
That's
did.
okay
soldier.
though. Yeah, we're okay. Let's see.
Oh shit.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, we're there, but the second screen doesn't say.
Give me a second, package. I got to change the thing on the monitor.
Easy does it, kiddo. Squeeze. Off topic, I bought Jason's training ring. Going to replace the floorboards this spring and possibly get it set up for some funsies this year.
Well, that is tremendous. That's tremendous news, young man.
Absolutely.
A lot of that's the low boy, right? The small one.
Yeah, I think it's a small one.
Oh man, there's a ton of memories in that ring. God,
Absolutely.
let me tell you.
Yes, absolutely, man. I'll never forget it.
All right, audio is in sync. Yes.
Yes.
So okay, so how about we do this? Is there a software update for this game? Nicht.
No.
9. So, all right, let us get this show on the road.
Yes, sir. Short boy. Yeah, it's the.
The short boy. Yep.
Yeah, this one.
Yep. That's the one where yours truly started our wrestling careers.
Yep.
Way back in the Terry's Lounge days.
Yeah, way back in 2004.
Wow. Man, brings back a ton of memories, like I said before.
Damn near 20 years ago.
So I'll tell you what, that'd be fun.
Well, anyways, here we are.
Whereabouts is that ring going to get set up by chance? Like, what city?
Not sure.
I'm asking Lamson, dude.
Okay.
Well, anyway, while we're waiting for that answer, why don't we go ahead and load the game, because now I felt some gas coming, because folks, I don't want to screw this up. This is the adventure of the unspeakable story.
I promised him when he dropped it off last summer, I'll take care of it. I'm living in Monroe.
Okay, so it's way down in the Detroit area. Well, still,
So-
my house for now.
Yeah, his
Okay.
house.
Well, just keep me in the loop, brother. Keep me in the loop.
And take good care of it, my brother, because it doesn't take care of itself.
Yep. Yeah, we've put our hands on that ring quite a few times in our day.
Yeah.
So,
What are we waiting for? Let's get started with
and there he is, our newest subscriber, Adam Kraft. What's up, dude?
things go well and peeps are interested. I'll travel with it. Absolutely.
Okay.
Let's get on with it. The adventure of the unspeakable story.
Yes. So I want you guys to keep in mind in previous streams. In a previous stream, we went through a very wild case with a murder on an omnibus, and the defendant was found not guilty due to a technicality. So, cast your minds back to that case as this adventure goes on.
Voice acting, let's get it. Yes.
Indeed. Let's get it.
Lock him and load him, ladies. It's go time.
The Hound of the Baskervilles.
Take it away, boys.
It's coming! Sholmes's cry pierced through the thick wall of fog around us. Wisps of vapor flowed over the pistol as I cocked it, and I waited, breathlessly, in the stillness. The silence lasted for what seemed an eternity, until, at last, it appeared. From the shadows of the cloud, an enormous beast sprang out upon us. A hound it was, but not such a hound as any mortal has ever seen. Its eyes glowed with a smoldering glare. The whole of its ox-sized body was outlined in white-hot flames. Its rumbling pant and hideous howl, so terrified was I that I began to tremble with fear. "Look well, Wilson," Sholmes declared, gazing upon the mystical beast. "For this is the diabolical Hound of the Baskervilles."
Ooh, the Hound of the Baskervilles.
Yeesh. Ugh, give me chills.
Our first 2 months in London passed by in a flash. In that disconcerting courtroom experience we were first thrown into on the day we arrived in the country, and in Soseki-san's terrible ordeal had followed closely behind, we had emerged victorious. However, there then came an abrupt end to our opportunities to appear in court, which was hardly surprising, of course, as I was nothing more than an amateur, an unknown student of law from a faraway land. So life in our little office was very quiet. That is, until it was shattered one day by that fateful telegram.
Ooh, I wonder what that is.
15th of April, 9:13 a.m., Naruhodo's Legal Consultancy. 15th of April. What? Chicken butt? That morning, I was woken by the unreserved knocking on the door by the telegram boy. But after he'd gone, Susato-san's behavior became very obviously strange. Susato-san?
Yes? Is it time to leave for court already? Let me see. What case is it today?
I don't think I'm scheduled to defend anyone at the moment, am I?
Oh, no, of course not. How silly of me.
But I think Iris said she would make us breakfast this morning. So shall we go down to Mr. Sholmes' suite?
Yes. Iris makes the most delicious breakfast food.
She does, doesn't she?
And once our bellies are full, we can leave for court in fighting fit form. Let me see. What case is it today?
Here we go again.
Didn't she just say that?
Yeah, she did. All right, well, let's talk to her. The telegram. So, what was it about? The telegram that was delivered this morning, I mean.
Oh, a telegram? I don't know what you're talking about.
Sorry. You're not going to get away with that.
Well, I didn't think I would. Actually, don't give it a moment's thought. It's nothing. Nothing interesting. Boring, in fact. We'll see about that. It was just a boring old telegram.
That's 3 times now that she's tried and failed to convince me it was nothing.
I promise that I'll tell you about it at some point.
All right. I understand. All right. Well, what's this one? I suppose Soseki-san will have arrived back in Japan by now, won't he?
Yes, I should think so. He left immediately after that terrible ordeal. Which would mean he should have completed the voyage already, or be just a few days away.
A fortnight ago, we had that very long telegram from him. Do you remember? Complaining of seasickness. By and large, it seems the voyage has been going well.
Is something wrong, Naruhodo-san?
Just wondering. What might have become of Soseki-san had he stayed in London, that's all.
You mean, as regards to Lord Van Zeeks, the Reaper?
Yes. I can't help wondering if seasickness would have paled into insignificance in that case. Alright, so now we gotta talk about the Reaper, Lord Van Zeeks. What is it they say? That no one who stands in the dock can be saved from the Reaper, right? Ugh. Like the way that nightmarish trial ended on the very day we arrived in London. Yeah, the omnibus set on fire.
Even 2 months on, the cause of that dreadful fire is still a mystery.
Yes, but at least Soseki-san is safely out of the country now. Presumably that means
That the curse of the Reaper can only take effect within the confines of the city of London, perhaps.
even if that's the case, it's little comfort. I have a terrible sense of foreboding.
If the legend of the Reaper is to be believed, it would mean he wields the sword of justice himself.
Come to think of it, I wonder what he's been up to these past 2 months. Surely not wielding that sword against more acquitted defendants.
No, I don't think so. Apparently, Lord Van Zeeks hasn't appeared in court once since our last encounter.
Oh?
Yes, Since Soseki-san's trial, he's withdrawn from judicial service again, it seems.
Really? Just like before, when he wasn't seen in court at all for several years. So it's just been me who's had to face him in his recent spate of trials then. Ugh, just my luck.
I wonder if luck doesn't come into it.
Sorry? What was that?
Oh, nothing. Never mind.
I don't know what the heck you're talking about. Okay, real quick. This is an Easter egg. That spade has been in here since we started renting the place.
Oh, that's not a spade, Naruhodo-san. It's a shovel.
No, shovels are for digging. That's for scooping up loose material. It's a spade.
No, spades are for digging. That's for scooping up loose material. It's a shovel.
I don't want to dig a hole for myself, so let's leave it. And there's also the argument about a step ladder and a ladder.
Yep.
All right, we'll do this one real quick, too. I've only been here in London for about 2 months, but my desk is starting to look a little messy already.
You can tidy up once in a while.
Susato-san, I always say making a mess is a small sacrifice to pay for being able to further your studies. The time spent tidying up is time you can't devote to the same cause.
And time spent on ridiculous arguments is time that could be better spent on some simple housework.
She wins. I'm supposed to be the lawyer here. Okay, what's this? Ah, this must be the telegram. Let's see.
Ah! No! You mustn't look at that! Not under any circumstances!
All right, I won't.
I'm sorry, Naruhodo-san, but you can be very mischievous at times.
And put the telegram away if you don't want people looking at it. Ugh. Okay. So that's the door. Do you know, I've never seen inside your room there, Susato-san. I've never even peeped inside.
I should think so, too. A young maiden's private chamber is a place of bittersweet secrets, you know.
Whatever you say, young maiden.
I think we should move.
Let's move. So we're going to go downstairs to Sholmes' suite. We're going to go downstairs for breakfast. All right, let's have a breakfast. So what's up, Adam Kraft? Good to see you. Please enjoy the show.
15th of April, Sholmes Suite.
Morning, Runo. Morning, Susie.
Good morning, Iris.
Iris?
What is it, Runo?
What is that terrible noise? It sounds like a cat being strangled.
Ah, yes. You noticed that, did you? Early isn't in the best form this morning, it seems.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Sholmes.
Good morning. A good morning to die, perhaps. Has something happened, Mr. Sholmes? You look miserable, and the way you were playing the violin before... My analytical mind is dead. Music is dead. The world is dead. Damn this blanched existence! That's all it is, my dear fellow. Nothing of consequence.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
Well, Iris, isn't it time we ate? Some dry toast and insipid coffee for me, if it's not too much trouble.
Yeah?
Meow.
It's a
Hey,
it's a kitty cat.
it's Mr. Soseki-san's cat. Oh look, it's Wagahai.
Good morning, boy.
Oh, that must be some sort of tiny door for cats to use. How did it get there?
Well then, everyone, time for breakfast.
Oh, wonderful. Let me help you, Iris.
It would indeed be a fine way to die. Day. I thought I said day. Damn it. I knew something looked different. Something's missing from Mr. Sholmes' desk. Alright, let's talk. Let's try talking to this guy. This poor bastard. You seem to be very unhappy this morning, Mr. Sholmes. What's happened? It used to be the case that in my hands, this violin sung like the dawn chorus. Okay, hang on.
Millicent.
Its melissonant tones would make flowers bloom. It would? Now, the muses are amused with me. The goddesses of music have thrown me over.
Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes?
For hours I have bowed. For days even. Through the night I have endeavored to no avail. That sound, my tone, is lost. That brilliant, clear, unwavering tone. Gone forever! No more recitals of unbridled emotion! Sounds like Sasaki-san.
Well, you haven't been practicing much lately, have you, Hurley?
Don't worry, I'm sure it'll come back to you in time. Heed my words, Mr. Naruhodo. The goddesses of the arts are fickle. One day they bestow genius on a man, the next they unmercifully withdraw it. Oh, dear. Why is this happening to me? If they take the turn I have with the violin from me, what is left for pity's sake? What is left? Deduction, perhaps? Isn't that what you're known for? Now, trust us, kids. His cheery voice is going to come back real soon here.
Yep. Mr. Sholmes, I don't like to pry, but your desk looks rather empty today.
Well done, Mr. Sato. Your observation skills do you credit.
Oh no, Mr. Sholmes. They pale into insignificance when compared to yours.
You'd struggle not to notice, wouldn't you?
You mean Hurley's great analytoscope? That's at Winterbanks now.
Sorry, it's at a windy bank?
No, Winterbanks, the pawnbroker.
Pawn?
What? You mean you've pawned that enormous machine of yours? It has some considerable value, you see. Quite undeservingly.
But isn't it a very important machine for your work? I do wish you had consulted us if your situation had become so desperate. I should have gladly passed what little income I have to you.
Dear madam, things are far from desperate.
But the pawnbroker has your wonderful machine. How can it be anything but desperate?
Making use of a pawnbroker is quite ordinary here in London, I assure you. It is? Doesn't sound ordinary at all. It would seem that neither of you fully understand how pawnbroking works. Oh, what's to understand exactly? Alright, how pawnbroking works. Yep, I'm gonna take another sip of crack. What did you mean when you said we didn't fully understand how pawnbroking works? To the people of London, pawnbrokeries are akin to banks.
Banks?
On Mondays, merchants relinquish their finest jackets and trappings to their pawnbroker of choice. With the money they receive in return, they are able to trade happily through the week.
And then on Saturdays, they go to recover their things using the money they earned.
I had no idea. This has been a fascinating lesson for us.
Everyone does it, you see, especially people in London.
And should they have money to spare, they would purchase another fine jacket. Not to wear, obviously, but to pawn should the need arise.
Oh, how ingenious.
So whenever we have something that's getting in the way, we leave it at Winterbanks, you see?
Pawnbroker can be thought of as an extremely secure vault. Who would have thought that even pawnbrokers are different here in Great Britain?
Of course, you'll have to watch Hurley with it. Sometimes he pawns things he really shouldn't. Don't you, Hurley?
What does it matter? The world is dead to me now. Okay, what the hell are you talking about?
Let's
boy.
search.
All right, well,
Well, you talk to Iris.
no, let's talk to Iris real quick. Wagahai. Mr. Natsume's cat seems to have settled into his new home then.
Oh, yes. And I've become very attached to little Waggy.
It appears his previous owner is completely forgotten to him. Cats are unfeeling creatures. Their mews as empty as the hearts of the muses.
If Mr. Natsume had no intention of taking Waggy back to Japan, I wonder why he kept him in the first place.
I expect he would have taken him if he could. But pets are strictly forbidden aboard steamships in our experience.
And for good reason. Terrible things can happen if the rules of passage are not obeyed.
We gotta go back to case number 2 on that one.
Yep.
Rest in peace, Kazuma. Or so you think.
Well,
Alright.
only way to find out, folks.
Well, I don't mind, because Waggy is adorable.
Yes, he really is. Oh yes, what about the door? I don't remember seeing that tiny thing in the main door before. Where did that come from?
Oh, you noticed? You are observant, Runa. Look, I use this. It's my latest invention.
What? What is that?
I call it the cat flapper mat.
Gosh, a machine for making doors just for cats?
That's right. It can make a cat flap for a little furry friend like Waggy in seconds. And it can do it in any door at all, no matter what it's made of. It's very powerful, you see.
Wouldn't it have been quicker just to make the cat flap rather than making a machine to make the cat flap?
Well, yes, maybe. But now I can make cat flaps any way I like.
Oh, I think it's wonderful. You must make one for us in the door of our office upstairs, Iris.
She really knows how to come up with unconventional inventions, this girl.
Oops.
Well, I'm gonna look at that thing before I start talking.
What the? Oh, what was that?
Wagahai?
What's going on here?
What tarnation? What was that?
Oh no! Waggy is tangled up in your violin!
I think he thinks it's a toy.
No! What's he doing to it?
Oh dear. Mr. Sholmes' precious violin.
Why should I care? What? Shouldn't be surprised. The cat is a more accomplished musician than I. If the cat is a more accomplished musician than I now.
Mr. Sholmes really is in poor spirits, isn't he?
Well, anyway, I'll put it back where it lives, shall I, Hurley?
Out of the cat's reach if possible. Maybe we should assess the damage.
Yeah,
let's take a look.
yeah, let's take a look.
Okay, so this is the violin, right?
Right? Or so I think it is.
So this is the violin, is it? It's a Stradivarius, one of the finest violins in the world, made by the renowned Italian luthier Antonio Stradivari. Oh, I see. It doesn't really look like anything special to me. happened upon it covered in dust, languishing in a pawn shop down a nondescript back alley. The broker had no idea of its value, so I was able to purchase it for a mere 55 shillings. How honorable of you. And until today has been my faithful companion in every great Paganini-inspired performance I have made. I ask you, is there reason to live in a world devoid of music, to tolerate this blanched existence? No! There is none!
Mr. Sholmes?
What, dear madam, what? My thoughts are preoccupied with fancies of release from this dull routine.
Well, it's about the violin. It looks very different to normal, don't you think?
Hmm? What do you mean, Miss Susato?
Oh, Susie's right. Yes. The tone of the wood is completely different.
And that's not all. I'm sure there was no crack here before.
Wait, it's not even the right size, is it? What's this?
I'm terribly sorry to have to tell you this, Mr. Sholmes, but that instrument isn't a violin at all.
Then what?
I believe it's an entirely different instrument called the viola.
What? What?
Oh, Mr. Sholmes, are you all right?
You're right! You are quite right! This isn't my faithful Stradivarius! So what, pray, is this piece of stringed flotsam? Not your faithful performing partner, then.
Oh, I see what must have happened.
You do, Iris.
This is just a simple mix-up.
Sounds like Iris might be able to tell us exactly what's happened if we ask her.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's ask her.
What are we waiting for? Let's grill her. What did you mean by a mix-up, Iris?
Well, you see, this violin, this viola, I mean, was at Winterbank's until last week.
At the pawnbroker's?
Not Mr. Sholmes' beloved musical partner. There was a proverb from the East with which you are no doubt familiar, my dear fellows. Always let a beloved child travel.
Yes, indeed.
So you sent your beloved violin to the pawnbrokers in the hope that it would experience personal growth?
Oh, what a wonderful idea.
Last week, I pawned my great analytoscope in order to release my precious instrument. But it would appear Mr. Winterbank mistakenly furnished me with this tawdry fiddle instead. But my ears cannot be deceived by the hollow timbre of this piece of timber. No, but your every sense was deceived by the fact that it just had strings. Pshaw! Fine state of affairs this is, and why I always say, Mr. Naruhodo, never trust a pawnbroker. They'll try to fiddle you every time.
But earlier you told us that you could think of a pawnbroker where he has an extremely secure vault.
Come, Mr. Naruhodo. Dilly-dallying will get you nowhere. Sorry? Crunching your toast with that vacant aspect, pressing your coffee so obtusely. Are you not a little embarrassed by your own conduct, considering the urgency with which we are faced?
We must visit Mr. Winterbank's brokery at once. That's right, isn't it, Mr. Sholmes?
Precisely, Miss Susato. Without a moment's delay. But I haven't finished my bacon and eggs. My dear fellows, surely you do not still intend to crunch your bacon with an increasingly vacant aspect, to press your egg ever more obtusely? All right, say no more. Let's go then.
Don't worry, Runo. I'd be happy to heat it up for you again later.
Oh, thank you, Iris. As it happens, I am rather curious to see what a British pawnbroker's looks like.
Well, looks like
we have our marching orders.
Da-da-da-da-da-da,
Charge!
Let's go to Baker Street first, though.
Let's go. Yeah, bustling London Street, at which can be found Mr. Sholmes' office and Winterbank's pawnbrokery. There's a large park nearby too. That isn't McGilded Park, is it?
And then we just move to...
Look at all the different things in the window of this shop.
Ah, that's Winnebank's, the pawnbrokery.
Looks much smarter than a pawnbroker's in Japan, doesn't it?
Yes, you're right. I find pawn shops at home rather inapproachable, personally.
Reminds me of tearfully parting with my favorite fountain pen. I felt so miserable.
What doesn't kill us makes us stronger, Mr. Naruhodo.
Let's see if there's anything here. No, there isn't.
Let's move.
Yep, let us move. To the pawnbrokery.
Let's go. All right, here we go.
Here we go. 15th of April, Winnebank's Pawnbrokery. Who's Winnebank? I keep forgetting.
I am.
So this is a British pawnbrokery.
Oh my! There are all sorts of tools and contraptions in here that I've never laid eyes on before.
I'm the guy that's coming up to get. I mean, the other gentleman. You'll know. Susato-san, and that spark of wonder in your eyes. You can't wait to scour the shelves, can you? I get the impression you enjoy places like this.
Oh yes, I don't know why, but seeing such a lot of things I don't understand is a real thrill for me.
My dear fellows, let us not forget why we are here.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes.
We are calling on matters of business, not pleasure. And clearly Mr. Sholmes means business too, judging from the spark of fury in his eyes.
Mr. Sholmes, sir, welcome back.
Did you hear that brazen welcome? Well, yes, we are potential customers after all. We are disgruntled customers, Mr. Naruhodo, and it's time to inform Mr. Winnebank of our ire. Come, the fight is afoot.
Let's talk to him.
Knock, knock, knock. Naturally, you will recall this, which I retrieved from you some days ago.
Yes?
This second-rate fiddle is not my faithful instrument, Mr. Winnebank. The color of the wood is different. It has holes in it. It's not even the same size.
A wonderful summary of our observations, Mr. Sholmes. I'm so very sorry, sir. How utterly unforgivable of me. An inexcusable mistake for a pawnbroker. There's only one way to make amends.
What?
I shall have to take my own life.
I don't think that will be necessary. Do you?
If I may just say one thing before I pop off.
Yes.
It was you, sir, Mr. Sholmes, who took it upon himself to remove the item the other day, I believe.
Sorry?
As I recall, I entered the storeroom to fetch your violin when I heard, "Oh, here it is."
You did?
And when I turned to controvert to you, you had taken the violin and left, sir. However, there can be no doubt that the blame lies firmly at my own door for allowing you to leave. So I shall not grumble or grouse any longer. May this guilt die with me.
No, stop, my dear fellow. The fault is mine. Oh, thank God.
Phew. It would appear that the fight is over.
I do humbly apologize, Mr. Winnebank. Evidently my questionable disposition precipitated this tragedy.
Well, you wouldn't be Mr. Herlock Sholmes without that questionable disposition there, would you?
I do believe you may be right, sir. It's either laugh or cry, I suppose.
You are, it must be said, one of my more challenging customers. I need to remind you of the peculiar collection of items you've brought through my door in the past.
Oh? Peculiar items?
In the extreme, ma'am. For example, the unpublished manuscript for an eponymous work, the novels of Herlock Sholmes or some such. Oh my! A new full-fledged novel? And unpublished? A story I have yet to read, you mean? Forgive me! Wait, before you die, you must tell me more!
He's got a gun to his head! right, okay, well, calm down.
I must know more. Tell me everything.
Wow, Susato sounds really fired up now.
Is there really an unpublished story under this very roof?
Well, one day the gentleman here brought in an old metal chest, you see.
I should like to entrust this to your care for a while, Mr. Winterbank.
For a chest like that, 1 shilling, sir. Not a farthing more.
It houses something of very great value indeed. The latest manuscript recounting the adventures of one Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
I beg your pardon? A manuscript? You wish to deposit a manuscript?
Indeed I do, for I am confident it will be quite safe here.
There's another comment here. Sorry, folks. I'll tell you what, my Chrome's acting up.
Yeah.
Well, too bad. I don't see any new, Okay. I mean, I think I see I'm gonna switch between my Twitch and my multi-stream. I think it's an emoticon from Adam Kraft.
Yeah, I think so
Anyway.
too. Anyway.
Indeed I do, for I am confident it will be quite safe here.
And that was that. As such, Mr. Sholmes' latest tale of otherworldly mystery lies dormant in my storeroom.
Mr. Sholmes, is that really true?
Do I sense that someone doesn't want to talk about this?
I continue to pay your fee, do I not? Then kindly continue to store my belongings securely.
Of course, sir. Of course. It's safe and sound with me, I assure you. On my life.
This is all very strange. All right. Can we at least get... I wonder, could I ask you something?
Ah, a gentleman from the east, I see. Yes, that's sable suit. Well, I suppose I could offer you 6 pence for it. Without wishing to offend, the tone is somewhat dull.
Sorry.
Aha! Well, for your splendid attire, ma'am, 5 guineas, no less. The colours are exquisite. The design, exotic. Eastern artistry at its finest, may I say.
Oh my, 5 guineas you say? How interesting.
Why do I feel as though I've suffered some sort of defeat here? Actually, I was hoping to ask you about your business. I've heard it said that pawnbrokers are used rather like banks here in London.
Yes, sir, indeed. Many of my customers utilise the establishment as you describe. I appraise their items and offer them a proportionate loan and 2 months of secure stowage. If in that time they repay the original sum to me plus the agreed interest, their items are happily returned.
What happens if they don't pay you the money?
And the items are offered for sale in my shop, as you can see on the shelves behind me.
So you never sell items before the 2 months has passed then?
That's right, ma'am. That's right. Which means some considerable responsibility rests on my shoulders. Should a customer's precious belongings be lost, the only recompense is for me to end it all.
The very idea, Mr. Winterbank, is an absurdity. One should never talk of one's demise so casually.
This is the man who was telling us all it was a good day to die only this morning.
And let us not forget that I have already helped you take measures to ensure such a tragedy never occurs.
Oh, what sort of measures?
I engineered a simple device, which Mr. Winterbank has installed here in this shop. I call it the red-handed recorder. Is that not so, Mr. Winterbank?
What was that deep sigh about? Alright, well what about this red-handed recorder? What on earth is a red-handed recorder?
Use your eyes, my dear fellow. There are 2 just below the ceiling. I can see what happens to be a camera attached to some sort of timing device. Very astute. It is indeed a camera, furnished with some 100 pieces of celluloid film, and every 30 minutes precisely, the camera automatically records the appearance of the shop.
Yeah, I have an example I can show you. Example, rather.
That's 4 a.m. Look at that. There's nothing on the door there.
Ah yes, a print from the camera is set to record the activity at the shop counter.
I developed a special type of film so sensitive it produces a crystal clear image even in darkness. Really? That's extraordinary.
Yes, you can clearly see the counter and the door behind it. Look.
So you see, were someone to enter the premises with ill intent, his identity would be summarily exposed.
But did you not say that the photographic prints were taken at 30-minute intervals?
Indeed, as you say, my dear madam.
Then what if the incident were to occur in between times?
One can only say that would be a cruel twist of fate.
I must confess, your devices have been giving me some cause for distress of late.
Beg your pardon, Mr. Winterbank. Surely they are anything but distressing. Reassuring is the word.
It's the cost of the film, sir. You most graciously placed not one but 2 cameras in my shop after all, which means I must pay for nigh on 100 utterly useless prints every single day. I'm afraid the cost of the film will break me before I'm very much older.
Nevertheless, a small price to pay to ensure the safety of my preferred pawnbrokery, no? My dear fellows, we verge on an age where safety and security come at a price.
Oh, heaven help us! Now then, Mr. Sholmes, allow me to return your precious violin.
Ah, the very thing. Thank you, Mr. Winterbank.
Perhaps this might mark the end of the peculiar items you try to pop, because if anything were to happen to one of them, this would be the only answer.
I really think you ought to stop waving that gun around. Someone could get hurt.
Fear not.
Sorry?
I've only loaded a single bullet, so no one but myself could possibly be harmed.
That's not really what I meant. Good day to you then, Mr. Winterbank.
Been a pleasure as always, Mr. Sholmes.
Jesus Christ.
Come on.
So, Mr. Naruhodo, now we can explore at last.
Well, let's take a look at some of this crap. What is this?
Look at this. What could this lovely big shiny box be?
That, my dear madam, is a music box. Surely you have such things in your own country.
Oh my, yes, but I've certainly never seen one so large before.
Shall we listen a while?
Ah, what a sublime sound. It's like the music of angels.
I've never heard anything like it before in my life. This particular specimen is of the larger variety, commonly found in public houses and restaurants. There is a metal disc inside on which the notes to be played are recorded. Simply by replacing the disc with another, any music you care to imagine can be played.
My goodness, what a simply delightful machine.
Indeed, though their popularity has waned recently with the development of the gramophone, of course.
Science and technology advance at such an overwhelming pace.
You don't know the half of it, people.
Okay.
You know that thing on the shelf? What is that thing?
All right, where do we
go? Right.
Okay, so we're talking about this guy here.
Look to your left.
This little boy.
This little guy right here. What is that?
What an assortment of things. What an assortment of things that are on these shelves here. Crockery, footwear, clocks, and watches. Almost anything you care to imagine.
Those are forfeited items offered for sale by the pawnbroker. What does that really mean, though? When you pawn, or colloquially pop an item, the broker loans you money against its worth. He stores the item for an agreed period of time, after which the loan must be repaid. If not, he is free to display it in a shop for sale at a price of his choosing. Oh yes, now you've explained it. I'm noticing little price tags on everything. Of course, simply by paying the agreed interest on the loan, one can extend the period of safekeeping. So you may pawn that black garb of yours without fear, my dear fellow. My treasured university uniform? Never! It embodies my student spirit.
Now you can take a look at that machine over there.
And besides, that little thing, that's going to be really important later anyway.
Now, what do you suppose this rather enormous machine does?
It seems to have 2 little windows for looking through. Allow me to enlighten you, my dear fellows. What you are looking at is a stereoscope.
A fascinating.
It is aptly named, I assure you. Look through the eyepieces and see for yourself.
Oh, I should be delighted to. Excuse me a moment while I just have a look.
Just before you do, there is something I should point out. My dear fellows, in order to see the image properly, stereoscopically as it were, you will need to be cross-eyed. However, if that is beyond you, it is of little consequence today.
All right, then. I'm going to try it. Ah! Mr. Naruhodo! You must see! At once!
Oh, all right then. So I need to be cross-eyed, like I'm trying to look at my own nose. Like this.
What in the world?
What the?
Yeah, he's speaking.
I'm doing that right now. Holy smokes. I don't believe it! It's just a photographic print, but it seems like you could reach out and touch it. Yes, the sense of depth is startling, is it not? Stereoscopes are one of London's many fads. They are often found in little stalls in the park. People queue for hours to see them.
Why? Why are people meddling with such black magic?
It is no magic, my dear madam. It is, well, far too complicated to explain at present. We shall save this lesson for another day.
Oh.
What's this guy right here?
Look at this. Whatever could it be used for?
I have no idea.
Ah. There's a small catch just here. Look.
Gonna open it, aren't we?
Oh my, that's amazing! It has some sort of spring-loaded mechanism.
Which we'll never manage to put back to the way it was before. What are you two doing? What? Us? Nothing. No, nothing at all. Whatever this device is, it seems to have a pair of little windows to look through. It feels as though I've seen something rather similar to this elsewhere. You just did, pal. All right. Okay, let's look at this. It's not a calendar you could easily miss, is it? 15th of April. Today's date.
Yes, it's not for sale, I must point out. It's an Eastern-style page day calendar. Every night at midnight, we tear off the front page to reveal the following day's date.
The perfect calendar for a tearaway fellow such as yourself, Mr. Winterbank. And who was it who walked out of here with the wrong violin before?
Well, when the agreed storage period is passed without repayment, articles are forfeited, you see. So I have to keep a close eye on the date. It's something of a pawnbroker's obsession, you might say.
Oh yes, I can see you're very dedicated to your job.
What? What?
Only tuppence for it. That ain't fair, and you know it.
The article is...
The article's barely worth a penny, miss. I cannot offer more.
Sounds like there's an argument brewing over by the counter.
Come on, that can't be right. Have you even had a proper butcher's head?
I've seen all I need to see, young girl.
Oh boy. Wait. Don't we know? I'm sure I recognize her.
Oh, yes, it's the young lady from Mr. McGilden's trial 2 months ago.
Her name is Gina Lestrade, my lord. She's a chancer, earns a customer in large crowds, relieving people of their purses. What's commonly called a pickpocket.
Fire! Crap.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Go bin it, you lot!
Hello, Miss Lestrade. I hope you've been well.
Hey, back off, you...
Cov, this thing is loaded. What? You remember me then, do ya?
Well, we're being completely surrounded by smoke, that's for sure.
So, what are you doing in here? Down and out like the rest of us? Nothing to eat? Come to pop that black weasel, coat, have ya?
What is it about this black uniform that makes everyone comment on it? Good day. Unless I'm much mistaken, you would be the young pickpocket who stole our experimental smoke grenade launcher.
Mr. Sholmes.
So, you have something of value to pawn, do you? Allow me to see the article, and I shall negotiate with Mr. Windermake on your behalf.
Pull the other one. I don't need no help from stuck-up D. Get out of my business. Go on, or I'll make trouble for you.
As you wish, Mrs. Strahd. I will happily remove myself from your presence. And there he goes. He's really done it. He's gone.
I'm sorry, but as I said, there really is no room for negotiation here.
What is that thing he has in his hand? Some kind of metal disc?
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Hey, you. Go on. Leave me alone.
Oh, Miss Lestrade, just pretend we aren't here. You shan't be offended in the slightest.
Susato-san can really stand her ground when she wants to.
Whatever.
Alright, let's talk to her.
Let's talk to her. Pawnbroker's customer. Somehow, I didn't really think you were the sort of person who'd use a pawnbroker, Mrs. Strahd.
Yeah? Well, I am, alright. I'm a Londoner just like everyone else. That a problem, is it?
No, not at all. It's just... But, well...
Oh, I get it. I know what you're thinking. That thing probably don't even belong to her. Probably got on a dive, didn't she? Yeah, I can see it written all over your Chevy Chase.
Well, I might have been thinking something along those lines.
You're not going to deny it, Mr. Naruhodo?
All right, then. I'm just going to come out and ask you straight. Do you pawn things that you steal from other people?
Well, I don't know how best to answer that, really. Suppose. Sometimes.
You're not going to deny it either, Miss Lestrade?
But not this time, alright? I swear, that thing belongs to me.
The disc that Mr. Windermake is holding. Perhaps we should see what he has to say about all this.
So let's talk to Mr. Windermake. Miss Lestrade's desk.
Mr. Windermake, what exactly is this metal disc that Miss Lestrade has brought in? It seems to have hundreds of tiny little bumps on its surface.
This is a music disc, you see? For use inside a music box.
In a music box?
What? You don't even know what a music box is? You wasted not too savvy, eh?
I know what a music box is. I've just never seen one of those discs before.
The small protrusions on the metal disc encode the tunes to be played by the music box. You simply insert the disc and set the machine going, and beautiful music plays.
It's so incredible. Tell us, what tune is on this disc?
Do you really want to know?
Well, I'm afraid I couldn't tell you that. There's so many different types of music box, you see? British made, German, Swiss. I've no way of knowing which particular machine this disc was made for.
Ah, I see.
And that's it in a nutshell. I wouldn't have any customers for an item like this, even if the young lady forfeited it. Really, I'm already offering more than I should at a penny.
That's a packet of lies. He told me he did. He said it was, well,
He? Who?
Never you mind. It just ain't right, it's all. That disc's worth good money, I know it is.
Well then, let's try your luck at another pawnbrokers, won't you?
Ah,
Alright.
She's been in before, of course, this little tad to damn man.
I see.
They brought some dubious article or other with her every single time, I might add.
dubious? What you trying to say? I'm an honest customer, me.
So, is there something dubious about the disc she brought in today?
Well, if only it were that simple.
Sorry? What do you mean?
What she actually brought in was a storage ticket.
A storage ticket. So, Mr. Strahd has actually come to redeem an article from you today, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. A girl like me has a lot of stuff what needs storing.
Alright, yes, that's definitely dubious.
The article in question would have been forfeited at midnight tonight, but if she gave me the ticket for it and repaid both the loan and the interest, I was obliged to return the article to her.
But what was the article? Do tell us, Mr. Winterbank.
Little scamp is wearing it, ma'am. It's the overcoat that she redeemed.
Oh,
What? What's wrong with that? It fits, doesn't it? I mean, it's mine, so of course it does.
So, what about the disc then? How does that come into all this?
Ah, the disc is something else. A new article to pawn, if the girl and I can agree to a price. A new
Alright,
article to
here we
pawn.
I'm confused. I thought you said that Miss Lestrade brought in a storage ticket today.
It's really quite simple. Yes, the child brought me a storage ticket and the money owned on it, as you say.
For this heavy black coat, which you returned to her for care, which you returned to her care, as I understood it.
That's right, yes. And rather unsurprisingly, as soon as the little ragamuffin put the thing on, she went rifling through the pockets.
Oh, you mean...
What? Don't you know it's rude to stare at a lady?
Ah, I see. So it came from the pocket of the overcoat, did it?
If you mean this disc, then yes, exactly, ma'am.
And she immediately tried to pawn it.
For quite a high price as well. This is all rather suspicious, I think.
Give it up. I'm just trying to pawn something like anyone else would.
Mr. Strahd, may I ask who deposited the overcoat here in the first place?
Well, me.
It doesn't really appear to be your size.
Me old man. It's me old man's, ain't it?
Is it, Mr. Strahd?
Yes, this is definitely all rather suspicious.
Yeah, just wait till you wait,
Get a load of this.
just wait and see.
Out of my way, please. This motherfucker. Who's this picture postcard English gentleman? Good day to you, ladies. Gentlemen.
What's your problem, eh?
There is no problem, as long as you remove yourself. I have a matter to discuss with the proprietor.
Huh?
And if you intend to make a problem of it, I shall see you outside, little girl, for the hiding you deserve.
Look, ain't it obvious? I ain't done talking with him yet. You think you're such a chink, you should know how to wait in line.
Well, you are an impudent little brat, aren't you? As well as a pickpocket.
Hey? Who are you? How do you know who I am?
The question is, how do you not know who I am? You haven't the courtesy to even remember the faces of your victims, it seems.
What? You mean from you?
Broker?
Yes, sir.
I believe this filthy pocket thief has just redeemed an article from you, no?
Yes,
The article in question belongs to me. I demand for it to be returned at once.
Oh my!
Now that's a lie. What are you trying to pull?
Give me back my overcoat, you wastrel, and needless to say, any music box discs too.
No, you can't have it. You just can't. It's me old man's. Or was. Now it's mine.
Goodness, Mr. Naruhodo. This is a very awkward situation.
Yes, I think perhaps we should hear both sides of the story in a little more detail. Oh my gosh. Alright, well, let's converse with her first. The gentleman's accusation.
Miss Lestrade, is what the gentleman is saying...
What do you think? It's all lies, ain't it? Obviously. I swear on my life I ain't never laid eyes on that dandy before.
That's it now, you little ragamuffin. You stole it, didn't you? That ticket you brought in here just now?
Actually, no, she didn't, kids.
No, I swear to God.
It was barely an hour ago. I was walking along the street, minding my own business, when this little gutterling ran into me. I knew at once what had happened. I've been robbed yet again, I thought to myself. Those wretched pickpockets. Yet again? Oh yes, as you can see, I am a man of impeccable style. This isn't the first time that I've been targeted by these backslum scoundrels. Now then, relinquish my overcoat.
Come along now, Mr. Stride. Give the good gentleman his coat back. If you get in cause trouble, I shall have no choice but to call the police.
Hold on, why does everyone think it's me? Just look at this dandy cove, and you think I'm the dodgy one?
I'm sorry, but no one's gonna believe you.
Well, what about evidence? Yeah. Where's your evidence that I've stolen something, eh? Come on, let's see it.
Oh, I have evidence, naturally.
You what?
What the hell is he talking about?
Evidence of the
Evidence that the article Miss Lestrade redeemed actually belongs to this gentleman.
Of course, we need only consult Mr. Weatherbank's ledger to know the truth. We'll be able to look up the name of the person who deposited the article in the first place.
Yes, brilliant.
I'm very sorry, but I'm afraid that won't be possible.
Oh,
I never ask customers' names. It's a strict policy of mine.
Maddie!
Maddie!
Thank you so much for liking the stream. Okay,
Never ask customers' names. It's a strict policy of mine.
but why not?
Well now, as you can imagine, some of my customers have circumstances to consider. A great many of them prefer to maintain their anonymity.
yes, I see. But then how can you know if an article belongs to the person asking to redeem it?
Oh, it's quite simple.
Adrian Miguel Cruz, thanks so much for liking the stream.
Hey, how you doing? A lot of guys jumping in on there. This is awesome. It's quite simple.
And it's about to get good too, so
Yeah.
stay tuned, kids.
Yeah, buckle up, boneheads. Quite simple. Good sir. Might I trouble you for the watchword associated with the article in question?
Of course, it's Professor.
Yes, that's right. And all the evidence we need. This gentleman is rightful owner of the article, without doubt.
A watchword? Interesting. Okay, hang on a second. Before we go any further, I'm going to take a look at that book. Look at Mr. Winterbank watching diligently over his shop. There's still so many things I'm curious about.
I don't believe this is the time for browsing, Mr. Naruhodo.
Should probably see whether that argument's been resolved yet, I suppose.
Not yet.
Well, I guess not then. All right, well, let's converse. Let's talk to the gentleman. Excuse me, but who are you? One would expect the inquirer to introduce himself first. Though clearly you're not British, so perhaps our ways are foreign to you. Oh, sorry, yes, we're from the Empire of Japan. We're studying here. Oh yes, Japan. Heard talk of the place. Ha! Its inhabitants live on some fiery brown-colored soup, dressed up with exotic spices. You might be thinking of somewhere else. And what was that theatrical gesticulation about? Perhaps. Anyway, if you are a gentleman, sir, you offer your own name first before inquiring after the name of another. Of course, yes. I'm Ryunoske Naruhodo. I'm a lawyer. Well, a student of law, really.
My name is Susato Mikotoba. I am Mr. Naruhodo's assistant.
I see. My name is Benedict. Yes, Eggert Benedict.
Wait a minute.
Enchanté. He's so refined in how he holds himself and how he speaks, but that name is suspicious. Now, to the matter at hand. My overcoat. Return it at once to someone with style to carry it off.
Every move he makes, every breath he takes, I can't stand watching him.
Did you literally do an intro? You did a reference to an 80s song.
Oh my god.
Okay. At least you didn't do Never Gonna Give It Up. Right?
No way.
Okay. Watchwords. So, about these watchwords, Mr. Winterbank.
As I just explained, I never ask customers' names when they deposit items with me. There are many reasons why. Certain customers would like to keep the activity secret.
What the hell is he doing?
What the? We gotta talk to him.
That wasn't exactly a subtle glance at Mr. Sholmes now, was it?
Great detectives have no dark secrets. None at all.
Yes, well, anyway, that's why I always ask for a watchword whenever I accept a new article. In many ways, it's like a secret combination of numbers used to unlock a vault. The date of deposit, your description, and a watchword uniquely identify each item. And of course, then I give the storage ticket to the customer. When someone comes to redeem something, I ask for the ticket and the watchword.
And if that someone tells you the correct watchword, you return the article.
That's right, sir. Yes, just as soon as the requisite fee is paid.
And I have supplied you with the information you require already. But for the avoidance of doubt, the article in question is an overcoat deposited 2 months ago on the 15th of February. With a watchword of Professor.
All perfectly correct information, sir.
But how?
Really, this is beyond a joke now. There is no further room for doubt.
Well, you want to think what time it is?
Almost time.
Oh, just gave it back. So, let that be an end of the matter. And thank you for your custom, Mr. Benedict, sir.
Ha! With such reasonable rates of interest, I may even decide to come back.
This is why I hate grown-ups. Just 'cause I'm a diver, everyone thinks it makes me a liar.
And the contents of the coat pockets, if you please, broker.
But of course, sir, here's the dish for you.
Just this one?
Pardon, sir?
I was expecting another. That is, I deposited another. Another disc?
Oh dear. I regret to inform you, sir, what was deposited with me was merely the overcoat. The disc happened to be in one of the pockets, but I was completely unaware of it until now.
So, Gutterling, you're hiding more of what's rightfully mine, are you?
Says who, I don't know nothing about it.
Very well. Then I shall bid you farewell. Say goodbye to style.
Wait a minute. That disc. It's mine. Give me that.
Ah! What do you think you're doing, you little tramp? You've drawn blood, you filthy animal!
Oh my! Yes! There's blood on the disc!
Because of all those sharp little bumps. The man must have scratched his finger on them.
I found it first, alright? I mean, it belonged to me old man. So you're not having it. Or you take it.
Me?
If I hang on to it, they'll have it off me again. So you keep hold of it.
Mr. Strahd, why is this disc so important to her? Music box disc has been entered into the court record. You there, in the black livery. Hand that disc to me at once, please.
No, don't. He's lying. Grown-ups are all liars.
What do I do now? How am I going to resolve this?
Hey, you want to talk to Sholmes? Examine.
What the hell are you doing? Mr. Sholmes, what are you examining with such keen interest there? As you enjoy a bar of caramel, I see? So, you've found me at last, Mr. Naruhodo. Sorry? After that young pickpocket sent me on my way, I was forced to lurk in the shadows, cruelly ostracized as the rest of you partook in the jovial atmosphere of fellowship. I had nothing to occupy my mind. I was too ashamed to let society see what my downfall had done to me. So feigning mock interest, I pretended to examine the tedious trinkets in this desolate place. Whilst, as you shrewdly observed, gnawing on the only friend I have left, the 7% solution of caramel. Pray do you claim to understand the depths of my despair, Mr. Naruhodo? But how could you? I was so lonely, so desperately lonely. Then why on earth didn't you rejoin the conversation? Things have gone from bad to worse here, you know. Yes, I overheard much of your conversation. Or rather, in my craving for human contact, my ears devoured every word that was uttered. You really were sad, weren't you?
Poor Mr. Sholmes. I feel simply awful for you.
It would seem that my inferences are correct.
Oh, surely you're not about to tell us that you've solved the entire case once again.
My dear madam, sometimes I wonder were my genius for deduction to be commoditized, how much I could pawn it for. And it seems Mr. Sholmes has had another of his flashes of inspiration. Who knows if it will help to resolve the situation between Mr. Strahd and the mysterious gentleman. What's the right thing to do here? Listen to the deduction.
Yep.
Well, Mr. Strahd, it would appear you find yourself in something of a predicament.
Where the blue blazes have you been, eh?
Pardon?
When a lady's in trouble, a true date's supposed to be there to help. Straight away, not an hour later.
Harsh. Ha! And who, pray tell, are you? Ah, Mr. Eggert Benedict. You have, in my eyes, a veritably encyclopedic array of curiosities about your person. Nevertheless, there are two immovable conclusions I have drawn. I beg your pardon? The first is this. It's going to be real hard to tell the difference between these two voices.
Mind if I switch, or?
You know what? You can. Go ahead.
Let's try that.
You will be Mr. Sholmes right now.
No, you can be Mr. Sholmes. I'll be that gentleman.
All right, well, we're going to have to flip it back when we get to the trial. So, the true reason for your visit to this pawnbroker today is something you have not yet revealed. And the second is this. A considerable crime is in contemplation, one you will orchestrate with the intent to steal a vast sum of money. Well, Mr. Benedict, what say you to my deductions? How? He's turned as white as a hard-boiled egg.
It would seem that once again, Mr. Sholmes has made a flawless deduction. Just who do you think you are, sir?
Ah, yes, as I hoped. That is precisely the pained expression I was looking for. Well, so, shall we begin? The time has come for yet another Herlock Sholmes' Logic and Reasoning Spectacular.
Let's do it, guys.
Let's go.
It's time for the Great Deduction.
The game is afoot.
Topic 1. Mystery Man's aim.
First of all, we must ask ourselves on what business you ventured into this pawnbrokery today. You claim to have followed this pickpocket here, having had the redemption ticket stolen from you on the street. But that is most certainly a lie. The real truth is something quite different. As revealed by that which you hold in your hand. Yes, what brought you to the shop in the first place is the staff recruitment flyer.
I don't know about that.
Huh? The piece of paper in your hand is a staff wanted
Advertisement.
I know, advertisement from this very shop. Yet even the most unobservant would soon realize that a man of your appearance has no need of such employ. In other words, there is some ulterior motive for your actions. The cane, which you unwittingly cut to your person, exhibits an incontrovertible contradiction.
What utter rot! I've had this cane for years!
The contradiction of which I speak is, of course, the missing ferrule. What?
I don't know about that.
The end of any walking cane would be terminated with a metal ferrule to protect the wooden tip. And yet, detailed analysis shows the wooden tip of the stick to be utterly bare. Therefore, there is only one conclusion. The rod that you hold in your hand, which appears to be a walking cane, is in fact no cane at all. You recoil, sir. Is something wrong? And in your recoiling, you inadvertently facilitate the answer of the next conundrum to present itself. Namely, what is the truth behind this rod you bear? Yes, your reaction betrays the truth. The handle, which you evidently would like to conceal, is the key to understanding this riddle, you see. From the moment I saw it, my suspicions were aroused. What walking cane demands such a stout handle, mused I. But of course, as I said, this is no walking cane. No, that rod is the broken handle of a shovel.
Are you insane?
And now, having determined this undeniable truth, the conclusion is clear. Your true motive for coming here was to take employment at this establishment in order to excavate the ground beneath the premises. With a calculated crime you've conceived, sir. A wickedly calculated crime.
Conclusion: to tunnel underneath the pawnbroker. I don't know about that shit. Topic 2. Great crime. What is it?
Now, Mr. Benedict, let us continue. For we must expose the details of this elaborate crime you have in the planning.
This is utterly absurd! You suggest that I, a gentleman, intend to excavate the ground beneath this pawnbrokery with a broken shovel? What on earth do you propose I could expect to find there? Some long-forgotten treasure, I suppose? Save for such a fanciful theory, what possible reason could I have you do as you say?
Oh, but there is ample reason. As you are only too well aware, Mr. Benedict. Your furtive glance is more telling than I could have hoped.
What?
Let us consider what would motivate a man to infiltrate a shop such as this and covertly dig beneath its floor. The answer is revealed by the council notice on the counter to which your eyes were inadvertently drawn.
I don't know about that shit.
This letter gives notice of public works to be carried out in the local area. And according to the enclosed plan of the upcoming sewage works, beneath this shop runs a sewer that joins another, one that runs under the bank on the opposite side of the road.
This madness has entered the sewers now, has it?
By excavating the ground beneath our feet, you would gain access to the waterway that flows in very close proximity to the great vault of the financial institution opposite.
What are you?
In summary, sir, you devised a master plan to pull off an elaborate bank robbery by dint of the underground tunnels.
Master plan?
Which brings us at last to the final chapter of this lurid scheme. With what plunder did the thief hope to make off from the underground vault of the bank?
Are you quite serious?
Having consulted with Scotland Yard some days ago, I happen to know the answer. But naturally, the answer is no secret to you, is it, Mr. Benedict?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Allow me to present a rather interesting piece of evidence. You see, this picture postcard tells us all we need to know.
I don't know about a postcard of the great exhibition. I'm afraid you've quite lost me.
Currently in the final stages of preparation, the great exhibition will soon be underway, and the government has provided extra funds to complete its centerpiece, the Crystal Tower.
That's going to be important.
Funds that currently sit in the vault of the bank on the other side of this road.
Pardon?
Yes, the considerable crime you've been contemplating is the theft of that which sits in the vault of that bank, the special reserve funds for the great exhibition. Of course, that is top secret police information, so keep it under your hat, please.
To steal the great exhibition's reserve funds? I don't know.
Thus conclude Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this pawnbroking puzzle.
Hold on now.
Hold on. Mr. Sholmes? Well, Mr. Naruhodo? An impressively upbeat deduction for a detective racked with loneliness, would you not agree? Was it true what you said about the bank over the road and what it has in its vault? Indeed, though few know of its existence, it is one of the government's most closely guarded secrets. Gregson told me in the strictest confidence.
But you just announced it to everyone here, rather loudly, in fact.
And if it's such a big secret, how would Mr. Benedict have come to find out about it? There can be but one explanation for that. Clearly because the man is a criminal.
But what if he didn't know anything about the money in the vault? If he is a criminal, as you said...
And he is, kids.
Then buying a brand new shovel is sure to be the first thing he does now that you've revealed the secret.
Oh. Or if he doesn't, maybe Mr. Winterbank will. He already has plenty of shovels here after all.
Oh, my life! I assure you, I'm not so unscrupulous.
Well, hopefully this has taught you a valuable lesson. Sensitive information must be handled with the utmost of care. One can never be sure that someone privy to secrets won't disclose them. And once the word is out, it's out. Perhaps I'll think twice before confiding in you next time, Mr. Sholmes. An excellent idea, Mr. Naruhodo. An excellent idea.
Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, you know what to do, I'm sure.
Yes. Let's listen to that great deduction again and see if we can massage it into shape. Very well, then. Let us start once more from the beginning. Of Herlock Sholmes' magnificent logic and reasoning spectacular.
That's right, folks. It is time for the course correction.
Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. First of all, we must ask ourselves on what business you ventured to this pawnbrokery today. You claim to have followed this pickpocket here, having had the redemption ticket stolen from you on the street. But that is most certainly a lie. The real truth is something quite different. As revealed by that which you hold in your hand. Yes, what brought you to this shop in the first place is the staff recruitment flyer.
Wait, now hold
on. So, by Mr. Sholmes' reasoning, Mr. Benedict came here in order to apply for a job so he could dig down through the floor.
Yes, in an attempt to tunnel into the sewers to gain access to the money in the vault of the bank across the road. But he wouldn't get very far with a broken shovel, would he?
No, I think it's fair to say his motives lie elsewhere. The question is, where? What did bring Mr. Benedict here at this particular point in time?
I say we look at the back of this thing. See that?
What is that? Huh.
Oh, look at all the scribbled notes on the back of the flyer here.
I don't believe it.
What is it?
Listen to what it says. Name, Gina Lestrade. Height, 5'2". Green cap, scruffy waistcoat, grubby white shirt, blue satchel, ragged. It's a detailed description of Miss Lestrade.
Goodness!
There's even a sketch of her, hat and all. Although, if he showed it to her, she'd fire that smoke grenade launcher in his face for sure.
And look, the details of the shop have been written down here, too. Winterbank's pawnbroker, Baker Street. Redemption deadline, 15th of April.
Which is today's date. Why would Mr. Benedict have all that information scrawled on the back of that piece of paper?
Well, now we're gonna present it. Info about Miss Lestrade.
Take that!
Take that! Yes, what brought you to this shop in the first place is the info about Miss Lestrade. Quite so, my dear fellow. It would appear that the writing and sketch on the reverse of the flyer pertain to the pickpocket Miss Lestrade and to Mr. Winterbank's pawnbrokery here.
Oh,
You originally told us that you had merely given chase after Miss Lestrade stole the redemption ticket from you. But that, sir, is a thinly veiled lie. It is the information on the back of the flyer that led you here today. By which I mean, here to Winterbank's pawnbrokery, and today the redemption deadline of that overcoat. So you waited outside for the young girl matching the description you have written down to arrive. Huh! And you have gone to some lengths to hide the reason for your pursuit of Miss Lestrade. In other words, there is some ulterior motive for your actions. The cane, which you unwittingly clutched to your person, exhibits an incontrovertible contradiction.
what utter rot! I've had this cane for years!
The contradiction of which I speak is, of course, the missing ferrule.
Nope, not that.
Nope, he was close. What's a ferrule?
It's the metal cap commonly found on the end of a cane, Mr. Naruhodo.
Ah, the bit that makes a nice clacking sound on the pavement.
Yes, exactly. And Mr. Sholmes is right. It appears to be missing on this cane.
It doesn't actually look broken, does it?
No, it doesn't. Though the gentleman certainly did recoil when Mr. Sholmes identified the cane as suspicious.
In other words, there's some secret about the cane that Mr. Benedict would rather we don't know. And I'm telling you, Sholmes pointed it out at first. It's these guys right here. Look here, Miss Susato. There's some letters on the handle.
Oh, yes. Those must be initials, I think. In the West, it's customary for people to engrave their belongings with the first letters of their names.
So Herlock Sholmes would be HS, you mean?
That's right. And the initials on this cane, obviously... Oh,
AG. Why does it feel as though that's not quite right?
That's the guy's name, isn't it? Well,
Yep.
present it.
Take that!
Take that! Sholmes actually looked at it first before going down. The contradiction of which I speak is, of course, the initialing. A most astute observation, wouldn't you say, Mr. Eggert Benedict?
huh?
We are led to believe, sir, that your initials are EB. Yet in a most possessive manner, you have in your grasp a cane bearing the initials AG. An incontrovertible contradiction indeed, would you not agree?
No! You're wrong! This cane isn't...
You said before that you had that cane for years. So don't try to tell us that you just borrowed it from a friend or found it in the park. In short, though you held yourself to be a gentleman, you have withheld your true name. You recoil, sir. Is something wrong?
I...
and in your recoiling, you inadvertently facilitate the answer of the next conundrum to present itself. Namely, what is the truth behind this rod you bear? Yes, your reaction betrays the truth. The handle, which you evidently would like to conceal, is the key to understanding this riddle, you see.
No, not the handle.
Not quite. Let's consider the bare bones of what's happened here. Miss Lestrade redeemed that fine-looking overcoat. And now a mysterious man has appeared, introducing himself with a fake name and claiming that the overcoat belongs to him.
But we know that he actually identified Miss Lestrade from a written description, which suggests that everything else he's told us is untrue.
So what we need to do here is somehow prove that the overcoat cannot possibly belong to him.
There's a rip over here. Oh, the seam on the shoulder there is coming apart. Look!
So it is.
You know, a moment ago when Mr. Benedict was surprised by something that was said, I thought he heard him make a rather strange noise. It sounded a bit like a tiny growl, but now I think it was probably the sound of the seam ripping open.
If you look closely, it does seem to be a very tight fit. The sleeves are stretched to bursting, and he wouldn't have a hope of fastening it at the front. If he were to run around in it, I'm sure the whole thing would fall apart.
That I'd like to see.
Sorry.
So how can we make Mr. Benedict run around?
She's really giving this some thought.
Well, let's present it.
Take that!
Take that! The split seam, which you evidently would like to conceal, is the key to understanding this riddle, you see? Yes, because the overcoat is rather obviously a poor fit. Having forced it over your broad shoulders, this seam is already breaking apart. My suspicions were aroused from the outset. When you so badly lied about your name and so boldly waylaid this pickpocket. This catalogue of untruths has been all been for one very specific purpose. To steal the article that the young girl redeemed from Mr. Winterbank. But what really irks me is this. The considerable crime I initially imagined has been considerably curtailed.
There it is. To abscond with a redeemed item. That's Mystery Man's aim. That's solved. Number 2. What is a great crime?
Now, Mr. Benedict, let us continue. For we must expose the details of this elaborate crime you have in the planning.
This is utterly absurd. You suggest that I, a gentleman, designed a whiz to fit some tawdry article of pawnage? Have you forgotten that I redeemed the article in the proper manner using the watchword? Had I not been the one to deposit it in the first place, how could I possibly have known the relevant details? N'est-ce pas?
Oh, but the watchword can be discovered, as you are only too well aware, Mr. Benedict. In a furtive glance is more telling than I could have hoped.
What?
Let us consider how one might come to learn a secret watchword relating to the pawned property of another. The method is revealed by the council notice on the counter to which your eyes were inadvertently drawn. Nope.
The direction of the deduction must change rather dramatically now, I think.
Yes, no more talk of tunneling into the sewers. It's a pity, because it all sounded rather exciting. Anyway, you can't deny that this mysterious gentleman did know the watchword.
Yes, Professor. If you didn't know that word, Mr. Winterbank would never allow you to redeem the article.
Or, looking at it another way, if you did know that word, Mr. Winterbank would allow you to redeem the article, whether it was yours or not. So the question is, could this gentleman have found the watchword out somehow?
Okay, so what is it? Notelet. Just look at it. Or is it the revolver?
No. Look at this, Miss Susato.
It appears to be a memo that Mr. Winterbank has scribbled it to himself.
Let's see. What does it say? Oh, Professor. Mr. Winterbank must make a note of the watchwords his customers give him, right before their eyes. And an alarmingly clear script as well.
Oh dear, I don't know where to look. Who knows what other secrets I might see?
Well, there it is. Take that!
There it is. Yeah, good catch.
The method is revealed by the notelet on the counter to which your eyes were inadvertently drawn. Yes, the broker here follows the same procedure whenever a customer comes to redeem an article. He asks the customer for the watchword and notes down the response uttered on a notelet he has to hand. Then he consults his ledger and confirms whether or not the watchword matches that of the article in question.
I would expect nothing less of a diligent pawnbroker.
But his diligence clearly has its disadvantages.
What are you talking about?
It is increasingly apparent that you were present in the shop before your accusation against Mrs. Strahd. In all likelihood, you followed her inside and then observed her talking to Mr. Windibank. When the diligent broker made a note of the watchword, as is his common practice, you observed him writing the word professor on the notelet beside the ledger. Huh? And that, sir, was the master plan you devised to steal the pawned article from the young Mr. Strahd.
Master plan?
Which brings us at last to the final chapter of this lurid scheme. Why would you go to such lengths to redeem that particular article from this pawnbroker?
Are you quite serious?
For an ill-fitting overcoat hardly seems to justify the effort, much less a worthless music box disc. But naturally, you had very good reason to make them yours, didn't you, Mr. Benedict?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Allow me to present a rather interesting piece of evidence. You see, this picture postcard tells us all we need to know.
No, I don't know about that.
Nope, we know exactly what it is. The articles we're talking about are the overcoat and the music box disc that was in one of the pockets.
Which, according to Mr. Windibank, isn't even worth a penny.
And yet this man went to such lengths to steal them. Why?
I wonder if perhaps we already have the evidence we need to explain it, Mr. Naruhodo.
Could we? Really? I'd better have a thorough look through all the evidence we've collected so far.
Look at the disc.
It has to be the disc. That's the only thing we have.
Take that!
No. No, you got to examine the disc.
What precisely was your intention with that, Mr. Naruhodo? Just following natural progression of deduction, sometimes the truth hurts. And the truth is, you did not have a turn for observation or deduction. Did that hurt? Yes, a lot.
All right, try it again.
This man has used some fairly high-handed measures to try to get his hands on the overcoat and the disc.
He certainly doesn't want either for their monetary value, though. Still, they must be of value somehow to someone.
This is the last piece of this puzzle. Better have another look through the evidence and see if there are any clues hiding.
Oh,
Yeah, that's okay.
So now you got
Oh, I just remembered. Okay. Folks, take a deep breath.
What the hell is
What
this?
is that note? Look at that.
Oh, there's a little scrap of paper stuck on the reverse side of the disc. Look! And a scribbled word or two. It looks like somebody's name. For McGilded.
McGilded? What?
What?
Hold on.
Wait a minute.
McGilded? It couldn't be.
But it is, Mr. Naruhodo. A name I shall never forget for as long as I live.
But why? Why is his name on this? Music box disc's information has been updated in the court record.
On the reverse side, the note says for McGilded. Now you present it.
Take that!
Take that! You see, this music box disc tells us all we need to know.
What's that on the back?
It reads for McGilded. Mr. Magnus McGilded, the unfortunate philanthropist who perished in curious circumstances at the Old Bailey 2 months ago. A prominent man in London, though his loan-mongering demonstrated a distinct lack of scruples. So, an associate of his, are you? Or perhaps a subordinate? Mr. McGilder was a man of unusually small stature. In fact, he was precisely the right size for that overcoat that you've squeezed yourself into. Ugh. Your true identity remains shrouded in mystery, Mr. Eggert Benedict. But the final conclusion here is crystal clear. The reason you came to this pawnbrokery today...
All together now, you're Sholmes. Was to retrieve an article left behind by the late Magnus McGilded. To acquire an item deposited by Mr. McGilded. That's the great crime. Solved. Deduction complete.
Elementary.
I love that shit, don't you?
Oh, it's good.
Getting close to the 2-hour mark.
Well, Mr. Magnus McGilded. Not a name I expected to hear in these circumstances.
Mr. Sholmes, I'm afraid there's something very troubling on my mind.
Pray tell, Miss Susato.
Well, according to what Mr. Whittabank told us earlier, today was the final day on which the coat could have been redeemed, was it not?
Yes, ma'am. That is correct. Today will be precisely 2 months since it was first deposited.
Well, today is the 15th of April, so 2 months ago today...
Would have been 15th of February, sir. That's right. It's all carefully recorded in my ledger. Deposited at 10:30 p.m., I see.
What? But that suggests...
Yes, 15th of February.
is precisely the day on which the omnibus murder took place. What?
And 10:30 in the evening is precisely the time at which the terrible events were unfolding.
Suggestive is not the word. It would seem the matter is entirely beyond coincidence.
You are, of course, at liberty to make whatever outlandish deductions you choose. However...
Whoa!
I must insist you hand over the music box disc now.
Huh?
It would be a terrible shame for you to return to your native land in a box.
What do I do? Hand over the disc. I don't want to die. Doesn't matter at this point, but... he could shoot me in any moment. Hate to give in. What other choice do I really have here?
Hold it!
Oh, this is you.
Hold it! Hold it!
Mr. Winterbank!
This is my shop. I can't allow any harm to come to my customers. If that were to happen, I should have to take my own life.
Mr. Winterbank, no!
All right, that's enough.
Inspector Gregson!
Inspector? It's late, Sunshine. The alarm was raised on one of our dedicated emergency lines, so we got here as fast as we could. No, what's all this about, eh? Oh, praise be, you're here at last. I was moments away from forfeiting my own life in my very own establishment. It would seem you have the upper hand. Right, you lot have got some explaining to do. I don't appreciate being bothered with some petty argy-badgy.
Petty? Mr. Winterbank very nearly met with his end.
Yeah, but he's all done as far as I can tell. Oh dear. And the whole of Britain could meet with its end if I don't get to the bottom of the case I'm supposed to be working on.
What? What on earth is the case, Inspector? Spare no detail, Gregson.
Hey, might have said a little too much. No matter. It's not to do with you lot. Anyway, sir, you're gonna have to come with me down to the station. But of course, Inspector. What? Ah! He's getting away! Get out of it, lads! Whistle a beat off the two!
Sir!
There's been a spate of theft at pawn shops around here recently. So we fitted emergency buttons underneath the counter for brokers to let us know when there's trouble. Oh, Inspector. I was very worried there for a while. Very worried indeed. Now then, Mr. Purpley morning.
Oh, yes?
I'll be taking that whatever it is of Mr. McGilden's down to the yard. Thank you very much. So hand it over.
Oh, yes, of course.
No, don't give it to him. It's mine, that is, mine.
I'm sorry, miss. Anything belonging to Mr. McGilden has to be taken in as evidence now.
As evidence? If the police demand something as evidence, my dear fellow, we have no choice but to capitulate. It's all yours, Inspector.
Well, it's 151.05 and it's... Well,
And so, we handed Mr. McGilden's disc over to Inspector Gregson, who was summarily turfed out of the shop and onto the street. To be continued. This is perfect. This is absolutely perfect. So, what a bunch of stuff going on here, huh?
oh, yeah.
Save your concern progress.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to cut it here.
Yeah,
aren't
we're
we?
going to have to cut it here because this is a really long case. So, folks, you got to stay tuned. Next week, we're going to get the next step in the case, the next step in the story. What is that disc all about? Why is Mr. McGilden's name coming up? And strap yourself in, kids.
What the hell else is going to happen?
It's gonna get messy. So, I'm the Cannonball Alex Steele.
I am the package agent, Steele.
We are the Steele Brothers, and we are for